Hey yo, what's happening everybody? Welcome back to TWR. My name is Tavian. This is my world of reptiles. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell so you get notified on future content. And if you are a returning subscriber, as always, you rock. Thank you so much for coming through. So as you can see, I got another beauty here. I have no idea what morph this is. This is one that was back in our breeding area. I don't know if he is a male or a female. I could say based off the size, he could be one of the young males that's already breeding or a female that's being raised up to breed. Not sure, but look at that head stamp. It's absolutely stunning. Like, oh, my camera's not even picking it up. It's just like, it's like bright and clear. Almost looks scaleless, but isn't. Really cool, real cool. Beautiful, beautiful snake. So, what are we talking about today? Well, today's video is mostly going to be for people who are maybe just coming into the hobby or thinking about coming into the hobby. You know, most of the time, a lot of our first experiences are when we enter a pet store, usually something like PetSmart or Petco or somewhere like that. You know, we walk in there, we see some reptile that we fall head over heels in love with, and we're just like, oh man, I'm going to get this animal. So the thing is, though, what tends to happen more times than not, which I'm hoping to get enough information about there about impulse buying, but what tends to happen more times than not is they'll get the animal, and then they're like, I'm going to get it. And what they go off of when they're deciding what all they need for this animal is they'll look at the enclosure that the store has, the setup that the store has, the care card that the store has up. And this is talking about PetSmart, Petco. They usually have the little care cards up right, which are typically wrong, but that's a whole different thing. So they'll go off of that and they'll look at it like, all right, cool, so I need, based off of what they got, I need to get that same size tank, I need to get these same kinds of decor, and that same like mat thing that they've got, and it's gonna be great. The problem is, pet stores are not necessarily keeping their animals in the same way that a private keeper would. There are multiple things that pet stores are doing that you as a private keeper would not want to do. And then mostly, and this is with any pet store, but you know, also mom and pop shops, just local pet stores, but also the big chains, the Petcos, the PetSmarts. So the problem is, let's start with, what are we gonna start with this? What are the first things we're gonna start with? Let's say cage size. Cage size. Most reptile stores, or most stores in general, only have a certain amount of space. So when you see the animals in the cages that they have there, a lot of times that's not necessarily the same type of cage that you would want to be getting. Sometimes the fact of the matter is, if they were to actually put these animals all in the exact size enclosures that they should be for the size animals that they are, oftentimes they would need significantly more space than they actually have to do that. So when they're having these animals here, they're not expecting these animals to stay here. These are supposed to be temporarily staying animals. They're supposed to be here for just a short period of time before somebody else purchases them and then goes on and gives them a better enclosure. So pet stores tend to have smaller enclosures than is actually necessary for the animals that they have there. So when you get the animal, you can't go, okay, so they have the animal in this size enclosure, so that must mean I must also get this same size enclosure. So sometimes they say animal is in an appropriate size enclosure for the time being, but you might as well also look about what the animal is going to need in a couple months' time, because who knows how long this animal's already been here, what size the animal is. Chances are you're going to need to get something bigger than that anyway, or just might want to choose to go ahead and get something that's going to last them a little bit longer than this more basic, smaller enclosure that the pet stores have them in. And like I said, that's any pet store. When it comes to enclosure size, you will often see in any pet store, the enclosure size that the animals are being kept in, the ones that are for sale anyway, are often not exactly in the appropriate size enclosure. So you can't go off of that first sight of, okay, if the pet store has it in this size enclosure, then I also must have it in this size enclosure. The next thing that pet stores tend to do that you might not want to do as a private keeper is, you know, pet stores have their animals in a way that they can be displayed. Usually, and if we're talking about like PetSmart and Petco specifically, like the big chain stores that are really about getting those animals sold, they really want the people to be able to see those animals. meaning that the setups that they have, the decor that they have in there, and how they have it set up, they have it specifically in a way so that the animals are actively visible by people who are looking into the windows to see them. They want people to be able to see the animals so that they can buy the animals. Unfortunately, this means that they're not really taking in consideration the comfort levels that those animals are needing. Most times they don't necessarily have a proper hide. Snakes are often sitting in there without hides. Sometimes they have them, but they're like half hides, and the snakes are still pretty visible, and they don't have a lot of decor in there. It's pretty big, it's pretty blank, it's pretty basic, it's really minimalistic, just because they really want people to be able to see the animals. You as a private keeper would not want to keep your animals like this. I mean, for instance, like you often go in, if you ever seen them go in and look at one of their little gecko enclosures, you'll see multiple geckos in one enclosure, which is a whole different thing to talk about. But you'll see one enclosure with a bunch of geckos in it, and you know there's those hides with like the little different ledges on the inside that you can put in on the glass, and usually there's another rock part that goes over the outside, so they kind of have actual hidden security. But if you need to see your animals, you can take that outside off and look at them. Usually the pet stores won't have that outside part. They'll have that part inside, and you'll see the little geckos in there, but they're still pretty exposed to the outside so that people can see them. You don't want to do this as a private keeper, because ultimately that's kind of stressing those animals out. It stresses those animals out to not be able to appropriately hide the way they want to feel secure, to feel safe. And so you don't want to follow that same lead and take your animals home and put them in some minimalistic enclosure where you're able to see them, but they're not really able to hide. That's not beneficial for your animals. So you can't also go in the pet store and say, okay, so if they're set up like this, then I also need to be set up like this. Now, our store here, when I first started here, we had a bit of some simplistic setups, but we have really advanced with our setups. Our stuff is a lot more naturalistic now. We try to give a good example of what something that people could do for their animals, and it does provide our animals a lot more spaces to hide. And sometimes people don't get to see the animals because of it, but if somebody did really want to see them, we would have no problem actually getting the animals out for them to see. But ultimately, we do still try to provide our animals here with secure enclosures where they're nicely decorated enough where they can feel secure and hidden, even if that means that people don't see them. But not every pet store does this, and so it's important for you to think about that when you're getting your animal and looking at how that particular store is setting up the animal, and really maybe do your research some more. This is why I say impulse buys can be problematic, because you're going to go off of this first impression, and you're going to try to emulate it, and it's not going to be what's going to work out for your animal, because it's not really appropriate long term. And so if you're going to go ahead and get an animal, I really suggest that before you just decide, yes, I love it, I'm going to get it right now, at least go home and take a couple of hours to do some research, go and join some groups on Facebook that have to do with those animals, look up some forums, Google some forums, look up people's enclosures and see how other people are setting up those enclosures in a more naturalistic and realistic way, not how pet stores are doing it. Because like I said, pet stores set it up so that the people can see the animals, and a lot of times, like big chain stores, they're not doing that appropriately, and those animals are typically stressed. So you want to do better. You want to do better than the pet stores for your animals. Next thing is substrate. Often you will also see in things like Petco, PetMart, something like that. They'll have them often on things like carpet or just aspen, which is not bad for some species, but for other species, that may not be what's necessary for them. It may not be what's good for them. Like you'll see ball pythons either on carpet or on the aspen, and I think with their humidity needs that they should be on other things. So you can't look at the display and say, okay, so if they're keeping them on this, then I also should keep them on this, because pet stores are also kind of thinking about their costs, and they're not going to probably necessarily put all the money into actually using the proper products to properly set up these enclosures. Again, they're going simplistic. So they're using, maybe if they don't have aspen, they'll use that carpet thing I said, because they also want the snakes to be, or animals to be visible. And if the animals start burrowing in the substrate, then that's not going to work, because people can't see them. So they're going to take that out and they're going to put carpet in, because they want people to see the animals. And so like I said, at pet stores, they go simplistic with it. And so you can't just see, okay, that's the substrate, that's the decor, that's the size tank, That's all I need, because this is what the pet store is doing. Pet stores have a limited abilities of what they can do, and depending on how they're choosing to go about it, whether they want people to see the animals, whether they care more about people seeing the animals than the actual animal's comfort, is a whole other thing as well. So really, just you gotta take it with a grain of salt when you're going into a reptile store and deciding, okay, how am I going to set this animal up? Let me just see how the pet store is doing it, because unfortunately, especially when it comes to the big chain stores, Petco, PetSmart, all those things, like, they are just not going to be doing it right. They're not going to be doing it necessarily the best way they should be doing it for the animals. They're doing it so that people can see it, and you as a private keeper want to strive for better than that. And in a way, it's kind of expected of you, even from the mom and pop stores, even from us with our enclosures, which are set up pretty decently. We still expect you to take this animal and provide it with even more and better than what we have done here, because they are only meant to be here temporarily. We are going to provide them with a smaller tank, because they are expected to be moving out soon. It's just like if you were to go on vacation and you leave your animal with somebody, you probably wouldn't haul their whole enclosure. You might have a smaller, simple setup enclosure for them to stay in while you're gone for vacation. And that's pretty much what's happening in pet stores. We're setting up things simplistically, but in a way that people will hear. We do it in the way that we want to represent how you can keep your animals, but also we're expecting the animals to come and go. We don't expect these animals to stay in these smaller, simplistic conditions for long term. We expect somebody to purchase them and then provide more and better for them. So, that being said, I hope this helps somebody out there who might be wandering into a pet store one day and decide you're going to get that animal. Don't just go off of what's happening in the pet store. Do your own research, see how other people are keeping it, find out what works best for you, and then go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this beauty back and wrap this video up. We're hitting over 10 minutes, or about close to 10 minutes now. So you all take care. You love yourselves, love your loved ones, love your reptiles, and you all keep spreading those herbs.